Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I'm Steven, and tonight, whenever the heck you're watching this, we are getting into bourbon brands you need to try now. But before we get into that, please do me that favor, like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us out a ton. But let's get into this video idea. So for me, this video idea is kind of more of a bourbon brands you need to give a try. And what I'm kind of prefacing with this is kind of non-heritage bourbon brands you need to try. So I don't care if it's in Kentucky or wherever the heck, these are just really, really great bourbon brands that aren't any of like the big conglomerates like Old Forester, Jack Daniels, Maker's Mark, Woodford Reserve, Wild Turkey, all of those brands, the Big, the Bad, the Buffalo Trace, those brands. So what are some bourbon brands that are kind of lesser known than those giant heritage brands that are just as good, if not better than most of the offerings coming off, or they have comparative offerings at that level? So that's what we're going over today. But before we get into that, a word from today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by ZBiotics. If you're like me and sometimes you struggle doing your daily routine or getting up in the morning and going to the gym, like myself, after a night of enjoying a few bourbons, well, ZBiotics might just be the answer you're looking for. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol. Drink responsibly and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. Thanks to ZBiotics, I'm no longer skipping the gym after a night of live streaming with you all, so stay prepared for those upcoming summer events and go to ZBiotics and order right now. Go to zbiotics.com/tipsy or scan the QR code right here to receive 15% off when you use the code at checkout, the code tipsy at checkout. Also, you can use that code to sign up for a subscription so you can stay prepared for any of those events you have going on. ZBiotics is also 100% money back guaranteed. So for whatever reason you are unsatisfied, they will refund you, no questions asked. Remember to go to zbiotics.com/tipsy to receive 15% off your first order using the code tipsy at checkout. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this week's episode. All right, let's get right into this video concept. And I'm going to start it off with a little asterisk of this. Local craft. I'm sure there is a local craft distillery in your area. You should give them a chance, check them out. Again, I don't know what your local craft scene looks like, so I can't tell you if it's going to be good. Sometimes it's a flip of a coin in that. But if you haven't tried them out, check them out, because I think that's something that you really need to give a chance. If you're heavy into bourbon and you have a local bourbon distillery there, you're doing yourself a disservice by not at least trying a few of their offerings. But to get into the first bottle on this list, a bottle I don't actually have a bourbon of, but I love their bourbon as well. Frey Ranch. I love these guys. So these are one of those distilleries where it's like soil to bottle or whatever that terminology is called, because they own a farm and they grow all of the grains that they use to make their bottles of whiskey on said farm, and then they turn it into those whiskeys. I currently only have their rye. I have had several samples of their bourbons and pours and whatnot. I just unfortunately don't have their bourbon. That being said, the bourbon is just as good, if not better, than the rye, and the rye is freaking incredible. This is such a great pour, and again, they're both really, really great, and I love that they're doing that whole soil to bottle type thing going on, because I think that's so freaking cool. I love, again, going back to the whole craft thing, I love keeping things as local as possible, and they are literally one end to the other end of the whole distillery business on their own, and that is freaking awesome. But after that, getting into one that is very, very not known whatsoever, and I think it's a huge shame or disservice to this brand, because they're absolutely incredible. Middle West Spirits. Middle West Spirits is fantastic. They make some amazing whiskeys. So this is their double cask collection. This is the sherry cask finished bourbon. This so far is my favorite of their bourbons. It's a 6-year-old bourbon finished in sherry, and it is incredible. Absolutely amazing. It is lower proof, and for me, if you've watched, you know, if I'm giving high praise to something that's under 100 proof, that means it's really freaking good. Everything I've had from them is absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait until they expand more into my area so I can pick them up on the shelves easily any day of the week, because I really, really like that stuff. And after that one, an Indiana whiskey, but we're not talking MGP. Starlight, Starbright. And you guys already know how I feel about Starlight. I think they are awesome. All of their stuff is around that 4.5, 5-year-old mark currently, and they focus a lot on doing finished type whiskeys. And I'll be honest, I've yet to have a bad finished one. Currently, I'm sitting at 3 just because their distribution inside of Arizona is a little rough, and I don't really love buying whiskeys online. That being said, haven't had a single bad one of the stuff they do. And again, they focus on a lot of finishing, so they're probably one of the better younger finished whiskeys I've had, because usually a lot of the younger finished whiskeys aren't super great, but they can finish a 4-year-old bourbon really, really well. And not a lot of distilleries can do that, including MGP, because a lot of the finished MGP I really like is around 6 years old, 5, 6 years old, so on and so forth. So 4 years old, and I know it's only a year, but a year is a big deal in the whiskey industry. And after that one, speaking about MGP, Doc Swinson's Exploratory Cask. Not all MGP is created equal. Not all MGP is created equal. This is, in my opinion, there are probably so many more, but this is one of the few MGP bottlers that you need to try, because these are probably the best in that whole $50 to $70 range currently. These are fantastic, especially the exploratory cask, because it's kind of their finishing series, and those are incredible. The finishings are out of this world, and some of my favorite bottles of 2022 and 2023. And after that one, getting into some Chattanooga whiskey. These are really, really good. I cannot wait to get more of these. They focus on a Tennessee high malt, or like a higher malt percentage in their bourbons, and it creates this really nice, like malty, kind of like darker side bourbon. It's a little bit younger, so it's not super duper dark and like ultra casky. So you are missing a little bit of that oak, but you do get that maltiness and that kind of like chocolatiness, that like darkness from there. So it's a great way to, I don't want to say trick you into thinking it's ultra aged, but for a younger product, because I think these are only like 3 to 4 years old. Greater than 2 years old. So pretty young, but it does not drink young. Really, really good. I am really, really impressed with that bottle. I'm so glad I took a risk on it, I guess. And then last but surely not least, the one on this list coming from Kentucky, Wilderness Trail. So this 4-year-old 100 proof bourbon, also known as bonded, coming from Kentucky. That being said, these are all really, really great. I haven't been able to try a lot of their super duper limited products, but I've tried the yellow label. I like this one, and then I really, really like this one at cash strength, or kind of that high rye mash bill, because that's what this whole brown label means. But yeah, their high rye mash bill, really, really good. And it's another one where it's like, it's 4 years old. It's just a really, really good, really quality 4-year-old bourbon. Like it's incredible, the quality coming off of this bourbon at 4 years old. But again, that is a wrap for this video. Please do me that favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below what you thought about this video. Also check out the Facebook, Instagram, and the Patreon. Again, let me know what you thought about this video, and let me know what are some brands that you think people should try that I didn't bring up, but aren't like some huge heritage distillery. But y'all have a great day. Cheers, y'all. We'll see you later.